I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make an Italian classic, pasta alla matriciana. It's a pasta dish. It's really quick to make, but it's got a really delicious sort of smoky bacon and onion sauce. It is out of this world delicious. Now, to make this is what you're going to need. You're going to need some chopped either pancetta or bacon, whichever you can find, one onion chopped, some white wine, hot pepper flakes, crushed tomatoes, some chopped garlic, and very, very important for this, you're going to need bucatini or barciatelli, whatever they're called in your supermarket. And what this is a very thick kind of spaghetti, and it's got a hole running through the middle. I don't know if you can see that. And this really kind of adheres to that sauce, and this is the classic pasta to use for this dish. Now, if you can't find this, of course, you can substitute regular spaghetti, but it won't have that, real authentic look as it would if you were using bucatini or barciatelli, whatever they're called in your store. Now, you're also going to need a little bit of olive oil and just a few finishing things to finish the dish off at the end, of course, and salt and pepper. Now, every time I eat this, it just brings me back home to Italy, and it's something that I'm so excited to share with you guys because it's one of those fast recipes that just one bite of it makes me think I'm sitting in the backyard at my grandma's house just eating it with my uncles at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Alright, so let's head over to the stove so we can start cooking. Now I have a large non-stick skillet here ready to make our sauce, but before I get to that, I want to make sure I get a large pot filled with water, generous sprinkling of salt, and get that come up to a boil for our pasta. Otherwise we'll be waiting forever. Now to this pan, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of olive oil. Not a lot, because what we're going to do to this is add our bacon. As soon as it's hot, we're going to add our bacon and cook it and let the bacon dripping kind of render out. And that's where we're going to cook our onions in. It's going to really build that flavor that's going to go all through the sauce. So let that heat up, and once it's hot enough, we're going to add our bacon. I just want to make sure you give this a little slow stir, break them apart. Now, if you can find pancetta in your grocery store, you can use that, but I sometimes have a hard time finding it in my grocery store, so when I can't find it, I substitute bacon. Center cut bacon is my favorite cut of bacon, so that's usually my go-to. So just keep an eye on this. Cook it until it starts to really cook down, but don't cook it until it's like crispy and hard, otherwise it'll ruin the dish. Now I've had my bacon cooking for about 3 or 4 minutes, and this is perfect. It's just starting to crisp up around the edges, but it's not super hard yet. So at this point, using a slotted spoon, I'm actually going to turn this down so I don't get splattered. I'm just going to remove the bacon from the pan onto a plate. But I want to leave those drippings in that pan because I want to be able to cook my onions in there and get a lot of flavor out of it. Now add your onions to the hot pan. Just like so. I've reduced my heat to medium, and I'm going to let these onions cook for about 6 to 8 minutes until they really start to break down. Now that my onions are nice and translucent, I'm going to add in my minced garlic, just about 1 clove. You don't want too much. We're also going to add a pinch of hot pepper flakes. This is really, really important, but you can go as hot or as mild as you like. I like things a little spicy, so I'm going to go with a nice pinch. Let that cook for about a minute. Now we're going to add in our bacon back in. Stir that up. Now to this we're going to add some white wine. Make sure you choose a wine that you like to drink because it's going to concentrate the flavor. And if it's not good to begin with, it's going to ruin your dish. Let that cook for a few minutes until the wine reduces by half. Now that my wine has reduced, I'm going to add in my crushed Italian tomatoes. Woo! Mix that up. I'm going to turn the heat back up to medium-high. And I'm going to let this cook for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's nice and thick. My sauce is really nice and thick, which is exactly what it should look like. I'm just going to add in some basil. Just a few finishing touches. Just washed it. Make sure it's nice and clean. And now we're going to season it with some salt and pepper because we haven't seasoned it yet. We want to make sure we season right at the end. Salt. I've drained my pasta. Wash my hand. I drained my pasta so that's ready to go right in. Here we go. Make sure you drain it well. Woo! Now I'm gonna switch to tongs. Now this is pretty much done, and it's exactly how it should be. Amatriciana is not watery, it's not a bunch of liquidy sauce around it, it's really thick and concentrated, and it wraps around each piece of bucatini perfectly. I just want to give this a bite right now. Now traditionally, you're supposed to top it with pecorino romano, which is a sheep's milk cheese. It's very strong, but it's very delicious, and it goes really well with this. But personally, I don't care for any cheese on this because I really want that bacony flavor to come through. It is so good. I can't even describe it, but I'm telling you, it brings me right back to my childhood. Just one bite of this, maybe another one. I hope you guys have enjoyed spending time with me. To get this recipe and other recipes, check out my website at www.laurainthekitchen.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye!